I do way more Pokemon tattoos than he does.
Right.
He is very sour when that gets brought up.
Yeah.
There was actually one day we were still over at Sad Fam, and I was tattooing a Pokemon or whatever, and he was tattooing something that's not Pokemon. Yeah. And he was jokingly calling over to my client, and he was just like, "Hey man, you know I do Pokemon too, right?"
Bro, I'm gonna hit JP up and be like, "Yo, I really wanted to get a Pokemon tattoo," and he'd be like, "Oh, that's sick," and I'll be like, "But
Brian.
I'm too nervous to ask Brian."
Can you tell him for me?
Can you ask me?
Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of Unemployable Podcast. Today we have Beerye Tattoos with us. Thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, how's it going? It's
good.
really awesome to be here. Yeah, I don't know.
Beerye Tattoos.
Thank you.
AKA Brian.
There it is.
Wow.
I think it's the other way around, but whatever.
His license is Beerye.
Last name tattoos. Yep.
How was the
Awesome
drive
to be
from
here.
Orlando?
The drive from Orlando fucking sucked because I had to wake up at 4 a.m.
Damn, you're a
And
champion.
you still got here before me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Loser.
How pissed are you that the bright line's not
curse on
open
this
yet?
thing,
Yeah.
No, I woke up at 4 and I got up and I was like, do I really want to do this podcast?
They're probably assholes. I'm not going to
I kept looking at my bed. I was like, that's a really comfortable bed.
Yeah. Anytime I ever have to wake up that early, I question whatever it is that day.
When I used to like work at because I was a bartender before this, anytime I would have to wake up at like 8 a.m. or whatever, 8 or 9 a.m., I would be like, if I get fired today, I can live for like a solid 3 weeks, and that'll give me just enough time to find another job. So I think I'm going to sleep in.
Dude, I worked at Dunkin' and I had to do like the 5 o'clock in the morning shift. Every morning I was like, I could quit my job right now and never have to be awake this early for the rest of my life. You know? It was 50-50 every morning, bro.
I did the Army, and I was in the Army for 6 years, and I would never get used to waking up that early. It was kind of ridiculous. We would wake up at like 4 a.m. There was one time
It was 6 years and you still didn't get used to it?
For some reason, if the
Cam, it's
sun's
been
not
24
out,
years for you, man. Don't even talk shit, bro.
if the sun's not out, like it's hard for me to just wake up. There was one time I was in boot camp and my drill sergeant woke me up at like 2:30 in the morning to sweep snow off of the courtyard outside. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying like, "Hey, Beerye, he probably means shovel snow."
That is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Beerye.
Here's a toothbrush.
You'd be wrong because he didn't even give me a push broom. He gave me like a witch's broom. And he told me to sweep snow off of the courtyard.
Witches, bro. You're probably flying it.
Yeah, I was
around.
going to say, joke's on you, motherfucker.
Dude, there's a lot of my childhood that I put in a box in myself and vowed to never open it again.
Let's open it.
Dude, you just hit this fucking memory for me.
Did you used to do the same thing as
Bro.
well?
He too was a witch.
I flew a broom once. I was when I was younger, I did like all these drugs and I got sent to rehab all the time. And I was in this therapeutic community. I don't remember what I did, but one of the punishments was we had to sweep the sun.
Sweep the sun?
Yeah.
Nice.
Was that
Off
the
of
drugs
what?
talking?
Is the sun in the room with us right now?
Where's your son?
So you can see that sidewalk, sweep till it's
He's
black.
here right now. Dude, so, I mean, I didn't know what it meant either when this old nun, whatever, told me that I had to do this. And it was early, too. And I remember, like, when I was receiving this punishment, a lot of the kids in there were like, damn, bro, she gave it to you early, which I also didn't know what that meant. But what it meant was you got a broom and you went outside in the courtyard and you swept the ground where the sun was until it was gone.
You said a nun told you?
So it'd be like hours of just sweeping.
You're
one
out there
spot.
the whole day until the sun goes down.
Awesome.
I can only assume Auschwitz was
So,
the same way.
I mean,
I was
obviously,
gonna say a joke, but I don't even.
Oh, don't worry.
bro, you just have to make the best of it because keep in mind most of the day, the other kids are like inside, but there's like periods where they get like to go outside or like a recess kind of time and whatever, at which you're not allowed to participate in because you have work to do. You have to sweep the sun off the courtyard. So you're like making the best of it. You're like, I feel like I'm making a little bit of progress, guys. Or like whatever, like dumb
Technically, you kind of
right?
are.
And then they're walking over with their shadow. They're like, here to help, whatever it is. But it's really not fun.
Just everybody lay down.
Bro, like, do you get a break every time a cloud comes by and like just blocks it?
No, you pretty much
clean the clouds.
You were just kind of sweeping, and randomly people would come out to check on you to make sure you were still sweeping.
I thought God.
There were times where like I would just kind of like stare and be like, I could kill myself. No, not that. I could run away. But most of the time they come out and be like, come on, keep it up.
You almost got it.
Keep it up.
Right, just imagine you like with a broom fucking trying to get this.
God, that's insane.
Bro,
So,
I love how Brian.
Your lesson.
I love the back and forth.
Good at sweeping the sun.
And you thought sweeping snow was bad.
That's.
You guys
So
think your
why
apprenticeship
did you,
is
why
bad.
was it really just like a punishment type thing? with the-
Absolutely not.
No.
They just fuck with you just to fuck with you.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. There was
no learning.
No, there was absolutely no learning. There was one time my birthday. They found out when my birthday was, and it was during when I was in training.
Yeah.
And they found it out, and then they're like, "Brill, come with us." And I was like, "Fuck!" Like I knew they were gonna fuck with me.
Yeah.
So they took me to imagine like a basketball court filled with like pieces of like rubber, like bits of like tire.
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah.
And it was like it's like a couple feet deep, and it was just like this huge courtyard. And they took bags of sand and they emptied it out on either side, or no, on just one side. And they're like, all right, you're going to take this empty sandbag and you're going to keep it here. And you're going to take that sand all the way over there and you're going to fill it. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So I started walking and they're like, no, you got to crawl with the shovel. So I literally had to low crawl with the shovel like facing up, and I would low crawl. I would have to scoop the like a shovel full of sand and then low crawl back all the way across the courtyard
With the sand.
with the sand.
In the shovel.
So like, and you have to be super careful because the more that falls out, the more times you have to keep doing this
Yeah.
charade. So I would literally go all the way back, and then I would try to put the sand and get it into the
Are
sandbag.
you crawling under something?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just me
Just the
being
sun.
an idiot.
Yeah.
And I did that it took me like 3 hours.
And they just sat and watched the whole
And they
time?
just sat and watched me.
Did they
feel
say
like I would
happy
get
birthday
bored.
at the end?
Yeah, of course they did. I was like,
get to-
fuck you.
Did
They're
you get
like,
to keep
happy
the
birthday.
sand?
Yeah.
No, they're just like, all right,
take
good
it
job.
back.
Get back and,
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, cool. Sweet.
Right.
I love that.
Dude,
Same
imagine
shit.
if you like went to combat and all of a sudden all these antics became useful.
Yeah.
They're like,
like,
we have to get all the snow out of here, and we only have this fucking broom.
I'm like,
and you're like,
I got
Yeah.
this. And then all of a
how are
sudden,
we gonna get the sand from over there?
Fuck
Yeah,
the
and
kid,
then
get the sand.
The army recruitment song starts ringing in my head. I'm like, and I'm just like sweeping snow.
That's right.
That's the only thing that kept ringing in my head. I'm like, why did I fucking sign up for this shit?
Yeah.
Why
Did
did you
you
sign up?
get used to the bullshit even though you didn't get used to waking up?
No, I just kind of the easier thing to do was just die inside.
Yeah.
And
Just give up.
And just give up mentally. And then like anything that they throw at you, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
And there is a part of me that was like, there's a reason why I'm out and why I didn't fulfill the like 20-year thing that, you would have in order to get like full benefits or whatever.
Right.
I did the 6 years by like I would say a year and a half in, I knew, I was like, oh yeah, this ain't gonna last. And then after
still pushed through 4.5 more years.
well, I was under contract. I had no.
It's called AWOL, Kane.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to be like tried and quartered or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I had to fulfill the 6 years. But like year and a half, 2 years in, I was like, yep. And then that's when I stopped. Like I didn't stop caring. There were stuff because I was a medic. There was stuff that I had to learn,
right?
Obviously, but for the most part, like when it came to like menial, like just duties around like the armory or whatever, I was just like, I don't care. They'd be like, bro, go do this, and I'm like, I'm like, sure, okay, and I would just.
Was that tough coming to that realization so early in your contract?
I wouldn't know. It was real. They made it really easy for me to come to that realization.
No, but being like, yo, okay, I've decided this sucks, and like I still have 4 years.
So my career path was just riddled with things that I would try and then just give up like really quickly, and it's just stuff that like I felt like I had to do, but then when I started doing it, I was just like, oh yeah, this sucks. Like after high school, I tried to go into college, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Like just a semester in, and I was like, yep, I hate everything about this. And I tried the military, and I was a year and a half in, I was like, oh, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And I was in. It was part-time. It was National Guard. And then while I was in that, I was just like, oh, I want to be a firefighter. So I went to the Central Florida Fire Academy. And I was just like, oh, yeah, let me do this. I graduated the fire academy. The day I graduated, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't want to do this.
My brother cried he's a firefighter. I saw him cry. You're just like, fuck this.
Yeah, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah,
There's no fires in Florida, dog.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. So I went into bartending just to like see what I wanted.
Right.
And I did like 6 years of bartending, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. And then finally, I was my tattoo artist who became my mentor. He found out that I was an artist on the side because I used to do like wood burnings.
Cool.
As like a hobby. And then one day I gave him one of my wood burnings. Bless you. Bless you.
Sorry.
I gave him one of my wood burnings, and he was just like, holy shit, you did this? And I was like, yeah, that's your tip. I was like, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bud, good job on my arm.
Yeah, you earned it.
And then he offered me an apprenticeship right on the spot.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I said yes, and then COVID happened. And then I had to wait. And then I finally started my apprenticeship like August of 2020.
So when you're like, yes, I'm going to do this, and COVID happened, that just put a pause on it for a while?
It put a pause, yeah, because I wasn't able to go into the shop. They weren't doing any of that. So I was just like training myself on Procreate.
Yeah.
And I would just do like little derpy Pokemon and just like stupid shit.
Right.
And I kept letting him know what I was doing. And he was just like, those would be greatest tattoos. Like, keep it up.
Like, if we could tattoo.
If we could tattoo,
if
and
the world
if
wasn't
I could
ending,
fucking teach you,
yeah.
then I'd be like, I'd give you a pat on the back or whatever.
Was that tough that there was the pause, or did it feel okay because you knew you had like a light at the end of the tunnel?
I'm going to be honest. The pandemic, at least for myself and my wife, was kind of awesome.
Dude, same.
Yeah. Agreed.
when they were like, you can't leave your house, and I'm like, cool.
Right.
No change there.
I never want to leave my house. Say less.
I never wanted to.
Right.
And 1 month, my wife, she used to be like a really well-known cosplayer, and then she started. This is when OnlyFans became like a thing in 2020 when it was like at the peak, or like everybody was like, "Oh my God, boobs" or whatever. I don't fucking know. And they couldn't score like out.
I'm a producer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was just like, "Well, I'm gonna try my hand at this." She didn't do any nudes. She just did lewds and stuff like that. And the first month she did it, she made like a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And she was like, "All right, cool. So neither of us are gonna go into work until and then I will pay for everything until you're done with the apprenticeship." So I literally just got handed.
Sick.
Like my mentor was just like, "I will teach you."
Right.
And then my wife was like,
I'll
"I will
take care of
fund
you."
it."
I will support you.
And I was just like, it was literally just
No
like
more sweeping
the
snow.
perfect. Yeah, and it all happened around the pandemic, and I was like, "This is amazing." So all I was doing was just like fucking around on Procreate on my iPad, and then once he opened his shop back up, then I started my apprenticeship like immediately. She did that for a little bit, and then once I started making the money that I make, as a tattoo artist, then she quit OnlyFans indefinitely, and now she's pursuing a career in voice acting, which is pretty sweet.
Sick.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's super cool. I begged my girl to do OnlyFans. Not her do it, me do it. Like, just to be able to have one, bro. Like, because like way back, well, not way back, but like when it started, I was with Jay, and we had kind of known about it for a little bit, and
He's
we
like
were,
all marketing.
yeah. We had
He's
a marketing company at the time, and we're like, this is the coolest thing ever. And he was just trying to flex. Like, he was like, bro, all these idiots out here,
Hanging dong.
showing their butthole can't make $1. He's like, watch this. Dude, he started an OnlyFans about his beard.
Thank you.
His beard.
He had
That's
a nice
awesome.
beard.
Just his beard doing things in the world. Like,
Doing things.
yeah, like going to this
What
city,
is-
that city, like almost like, when you get
Like,
those
look
like
at his
pen
beard.
pal friends when you were little and they traveled the world or whatever. They kind of like that. Bro, he was making like 10, 20 grand a week on his fucking beard, bro. Just because he was applying like his marketing mind.
That's
to it.
incredible. There was a dude on like a few years ago. It was like Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And this guy was just like, I want to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then he put his goal to like $20,000. And he made it. And then he made like thousands and thousands of dollars because people were just giving him $1 or $2.
Yeah.
But it caught so much traction that he ended up making like $50,000 or $60,000.
Damn.
And he was just like, help me make this PB&J.
That's
And I'm
sick.
like, are you fucking
Cam,
kidding
we should
me,
do
bro?
that.
Dude,
I want to make street tacos. $50,000.
No, it was just a sandwich for him. It wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
he didn't make 20,000
Dude, I was
sandwiches.
gonna eat all the tacos. That's because it's plural. Doesn't mean I'm gonna handle this shit out. I can't just eat one taco.
I hope he used like
awesome.
the finest of peanut butters for that sandwich.
And the finest of jellies.
yeah.
Now he's sponsored by Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan peanut butter, the honey roasted peanut butter.
Oh,
Best peanut butter on
Easily
the
the
planet.
best peanut butter.
we
Yeah.
should start.
I could
we
eat that
should
shit
do
with a
something.
spoon.
100%.
yeah.
Like, you're gonna, like, I would love to start something like that and then like follow through with it, like something stupid.
Sock
Maybe
puppets.
that does actually cost a lot of money. Because I'm always like asked, you get bored sometimes in your tattoo, so you call on some of the younger crowd to come over and entertain you. I don't know if you do that. I do that. And
Come on, kids.
and
Sit around.
so I like to figure out what they don't want to do and then put a price to it. Right?
Okay.
This is a common game in the shop.
Very
And,
common game.
So like example, Adrian, like we asked if he would get like breast implants if we paid for them, right? And so I thought the answer was just going to be no right away, and we had to put money on top, which I really wasn't willing to also put money on top and pay for the surgery. So, and he's like, how will this benefit me? So we all tried to like tell him how cool he would be and like whatever, but he agreed.
You were lying to.
Yeah. He agreed as long as he could get them on his back. Do you remember
I don't
that?
think he thought about that.
First, you wanted to get
Yeah.
a single one here.
Right. Because he has kind of a
Indent.
concave chest, so he thought it could like balance it out.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, don't tell tell him. Yeah, that is how it works. But like something like that, like help Adrian get back boobs. We're trying to raise, 20 grand or whatever, and then like follow through with it. That would be fun.
We're talking about a dude that doesn't know 50% of 100. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he works here though.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I handle the money though.
Thank you.
Dude, I don't know.
Like, I don't even work here, and I'm thanking you.
Dude, when you said about Jay's beard, I'm here thinking he's putting like googly eyes here and like laying upside down.
Yeah, I thought like when you were like, yeah, he's making his beard do things. I thought that he was like sticking like a toothbrush through his beard and like saying how much weight.
He's like,
Look, I'm in Chicago, beard.
No, but it would just be like in New York City, and it'd be just like this part with like New York City in the background and shit, or like it was. I mean, it was funny. He would do stuff like that a lot with different like forms of marketing. Like he back when Seth was a good friend that worked here, doesn't work here anymore. But he was like, yo, I bet like I could make you like internet famous in a month. He would do shit like that, which he did. And then Seth was like, this is too much attention. I don't want to do this anymore. But that was like 6 years ago. Like, would just do fun stuff like that. Unfortunately, Jay passed away. But it was
Long live the beard.
Yeah, it was always fun to see him do different projects like that. What would you start like a GoFundMe or Kickstarter for?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. I've always wanted to be like a streamer. Like people just send people money to play video games.
You kind of look like a streamer. You fucking.
I feel like I'd be pretty good because I talk to myself when I play video games. So like, why not just record it?
Your whole generation wants to do nothing and make tons of money, bro.
Yeah. But what's crazy is my whole generation does nothing and makes a fuckload of money.
That's not true, bro.
I don't know,
10 people do, bro.
Yeah.
The rest of them.
I'm trying to be the 11th.
Listen, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I really don't. When people are like, "Yeah, I want to do this and make this amount of money," I'm like, honestly, if it was that fucking easy, everyone would
love to play video games.
But they
and just make millions.
I feel like they have no other backup plan. They're just like going for that.
Like the instant,
like they're just playing the lottery every day, and they have no plan.
Well,
B.
like the instant like PlayStation Network goes offline, they're fucked. Like it's that simple.
Right.
The instant
Maybe I'll
Twitch,
make that my life goal.
The instant like Twitch like stops being a thing, like all these people are SOL.
I mean, I think every generation has that type of like job where everybody is just like going for that.
Like for you, it's like being a skateboarder. It's like 10 of them made it, and that's it.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Here's the difference. We all still got jobs.
Yeah.
Valid.
No, valid, yeah.
Like we would just
my generation's
after
not.
work, on the way to work, and I don't think I know what you're saying, decent comparison, but the amount of people trying to become a pro skater is fractional compared to the content creation.
They're just doing TikTok dances online. Right. Yeah,
well,
I feel you.
Another thing is, like, obviously, previous generations, they didn't have the internet as powerful as it is today.
Correct.
Yeah. So, like, there are way more opportunities to get big today on the internet, whether it's like streaming or esports, or like
exposures is so much
or just
now.
Being like a content creator like nowadays.
You know what's happening?
You need a gimmick.
You don't like have to get on a magazine anymore to be like popular,
But you at this point, I think you need a gimmick. Everyone's doing the same games, the same everything. You have to stand out. What would be your gimmick?
I don't know.
Do it naked.
Yeah, bro.
Just
but you know what's interesting that's happening right now? A middle class is being formed in content creation. And there never used to be a middle class. It was either like you suck with your sunset photos that get 17 likes, or you're like on top of the world and everyone just sucks your dick about anything you do, even if and you didn't go to college and you're an idiot, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's forming, and like all the platforms are gearing their monetization towards building that middle class, which will sustain that economy. In a
it's
sense.
like it allows them to have more creators as
more
well.
everything.
Yeah.
And
giving all their money to this one guy.
So like, yes, I do.
So it's its own ecosystem.
Yeah, bro. It's very interesting.
Because I see like those moms that are like social media influencers, and they're not like big, but they're not like little. Like they have their following of other moms, and they seem to be able to like maintain and their
Right, and
family.
they whore their kids out on the internet for $1.
Exactly,
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
I'm huge support of that.
Waiting to have a kid, dog. Shit, I'm waiting to have a kid so I can
There was
exploit that little motherfucker.
There's a kid who he has like his own toy line.
the review, the little Asian kid.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, no.
I feel so bad.
Yo,
for
he's-
that kid.
If you're
No.
watching this little Asian
No.
kid,
Yo, but he's been
Yeah.
making content forever.
He's only like 6, dude.
what's
No,
this
he's
he
older
shit
now.
His parents have, bro. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
Fuck,
but
what's
Do you
his-
think
what-
he's like 30
Ryan-
and they like dress
Ryan.
him up super young
Is it?
now?
His
They're
name's
like,
Ryan,
"We
yeah.
gotta hold this
yeah,
character."
but I'm like,
He's like 12 now, but he's been making content since he was like 5 or 6. Yeah.
that's insane because I was just like, there's no way that
You mean his
because
parents
of
have been making
his-
content?
That's
Yeah.
exactly
correct. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's just an unnecessary. I know money talks,
Yeah.
but like that is an unnecessary amount of stress that you're putting on your actual child.
I don't know though. You ever like watch
I
one
do.
of those videos?
You're like,
They grow up too fast. That's the problem with
sure.
this
It's definitely probably
generation.
pressure, but like, yeah, I would have loved to be like put in front of a camera. And was like,
You
just
say that now.
but they're
Yeah,
like,
dude.
but like, as 6-year-old, and your parents are just like, play with this new toy, and I'll get you a new toy tomorrow if you do the same thing. And it's just like every day, it's something new for that kid. Like,
Cam,
he might
do you
like
know how
it.
hard it is to get you in a video now? I'm like, please do this video. It'll help your career.
Imagine how cool it'd be if we could just dress up and get money.
And then
shit.
Cam's like, yeah, but do I look dumb in the video? It's like, yeah, obviously you
Yeah,
look
of
dumb.
course you do. You can. I don't want to compare it because there are actually no allegations against Ryan and his parents, but you could kind of
Until now.
until right now. Ryan, if you're listening,
blink if you're in trouble,
blink
motherfucker.
twice in your next video if you need help. There was like, you know, with like the whole thing with like the Jackson 5 and like Tito was always like physically abusing Michael Jackson or whatever when he was a little kid. Jesus, that chair.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like they were like, oh yeah, he used to like physically abuse Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5 when he was like a kid or whatever. And like every like on screen, like on the camera, everybody would be like, oh no, it's just a happy family, and they're just like or whatever.
One,
They're
two,
like, that's a
three.
perfect family. And then no, behind the scenes it's a lot of abuse. Well, it's the same thing with like I can't say that, but it's
Right. It's 100% out there.
yeah, like
Yeah,
there's
maybe not with this dude, but
yeah, with the parents and stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not saying that's what's happening, but
Now he has.
I don't want his parents to come after me or whatever.
Well, yeah. and it's
Macaulay
like-
Culkin's coming after you, dog. He's
hell yeah,
standing
dude.
behind his boy.
That guy's awesome.
But yeah, it's gonna, it brings all kinds of stuff, and I think one thing everyone can agree on is like social media is exaggerated. It's not based on truth. It's there to entertain and essentially to display something other than what it is most of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
It kind of sucks because when you're not involved in that like ecosystem or society, you
Right.
can look at these perfect pictures and it can get very stressful for your life because you're like, why isn't my life looking like that? What are they doing differently? Absolutely. And yet their life isn't much different than yours. They're just getting these candid moments that look good on the internet.
Right.
And then they'll take like a picture of a bowl of fruit, and then you could be like, "Look at their countertop. Why
Right.
don't
They always
I
have a
that
full
fuck-"
bowl of fruit. Bro.
Yeah.
I only got like one banana. Yeah.
Purple drink.
So
I just feel like kids have too much knowledge in their hands, which is not necessarily a good thing.
Or too much access to the knowledge.
Yeah,
at
bro.
a young age,
My
yeah.
niece is 4, and we were talking about Santa, and she Googled, "Is Santa is real?" Just
Damn, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
she's like, "You've been fucking lying to me for 4 years."
I go, rule number 1, don't trust everything you read.
Yeah.
She goes, there were 16 links.
She's like, oh yeah, and the tooth fairy bitch.
Right. I know the Easter Bunny's real, dog. I seen him. I seen it.
That's incredible. Yeah, like sometimes it just kind of takes the fun out of certain things.
Yeah.
Like I remember like being just going outside and just like playing outside and not having
Manhunt.
a care in the world. Yo, man, the last time I played Manhunt, I was playing outside. I'll never forget it because it hurt like a motherfucker. We were playing at my buddy's like he has like a farmland or whatever, and it was pitch black. I think it was like around midnight or something like that. And I was booking it as fast as I could run, dude. I was absolutely hauling ass. And then I ran into a barbed wire fence. Oh, because I didn't even see it. Damn. So like literally from like my collarbone right here and then like right above my hips, it was just like puncture wounds because I bounced right off of it.
Yeah, it's just like that.
And it came out?
Yes.
Or did it stick?
So no, like it came out. Like I punctured myself and then I bounced off. And then when I
time out, guys, time out.
And I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So literally, I go back into my buddy's house and I take my shirt off and it's just like a row here, a row here, and a row here, just like bleeding puncture wounds. And I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Am I a piercer now?
I've been hunted.
I was like, I'm good.
Is the fence okay?
Yeah, so it was pretty it was fucked up, man. But yeah, kids don't have that anymore.
Some kids just need to run into a barbed wire fence.
Everyone needs that experience, bro.
Yeah, bro. I hate that shit.
Damn, I didn't even think about Googling, is Santa real, bro?
Yeah, bro.
I've never even thought of that. Your kid's smart.
She's brilliant, bro. Yeah.
That's scary.
She knows. See, at her age, I knew the alphabet. This little shit knows how to do calculus now. I'm like,
Yeah, I can't. I think there is like too much info that you can see. Like especially just like in the palm of your hand. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, obviously social media is, part of everything now, and especially tattooing. And now I know you and JP run a podcast, Baka Bois, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that and like getting that started and what it is to you.
So we're in a little bit of a hiatus right now because my editor-in-chief, which is also my wife, her computer went down, so we're having it fixed. So we're on a little bit of a break right now, but we came up with the idea when we were actually over at SadFam, and it was supposed to be just like, oh, why don't we goof off all the time? Why don't we just goof off on camera?
Why don't we record it?
Why don't we just record it? And it just turned into like this, this thing where we just kind of fuck around.
Yeah.
And we'll do random skits or whatever, and it's fun. And we honestly don't care how many views we get. We just think it's hilarious. And then now we have, clients that are they'll bring like gifts or treats or whatever, and it'll be like Baka Bois. Like one of my clients, like a couple weeks ago, she brought in a 3D printed Baka Bois like plaque, but like in the Pokemon font.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. She's like, I love your show. And I was like,
all of you.
We haven't done a lot of the shows recently, but I really appreciate it.
I've watched every episode.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. No, but we have a lot of fun. And now we're going to turn it into more of like a podcast, where before it was like skits.
Yeah.
But JP doesn't know how to shut up sometimes. So like we're just like, why don't we just turn it into a podcast and he can talk as long as he wants. Right. And I'll be like,
Go on.
And this,
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, oh, well, fucking aliens in Blink-182. And I'm like, sweet, dude.
Yeah, it looks fun. You know, I was watching a few episodes, even back when JP was here, and I feel like you get a good idea of your guys' like personalities as well. Which is cool. No, it's cool. Like I was watching it and I was like, oh, like, Brian's going to be really easy to talk to. Like seems like a fun, nice guy. I already knew JP was cool at the time, but I think it's cool when you can get some of that across the screen. Mm-hmm. It looks like you guys are having fun. You've been friends forever. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, we have a really good connection. He seems to be like the hyperactive, like younger brother,
right? The unmedicated,
the one just like let's
qualifies
everything
for
is awesome,
Ritalin.
And I'm like, and then I'm the one that's like, can you just like fucking tone it down a little bit? But like enough. But I guess the connection there is obviously all genuine, and I have nothing but love for JP, and I hope he feels the same about me. But we just play off of each other. Anytime we're tattooing next to each other, like we will always just insult each other, like back and forth. It's just a brotherly love that we've come to adopt.
Bro, that's the best. It makes the day go by faster. Usually
100%.
the clients like it. They're like, cool, I'm being entertained, you know.
Cool, they're fucking yelling at each other.
Yeah. So the format's going to change with it. Mm-hmm. Will it be like longer episodes?
Yes. So we had a couple of episodes that were around an hour long.
Yeah.
And a lot of people seem to like the longer format for our stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to be going into that. So our new stuff will probably be around an hour-ish long.
Plans to have guests on, or you guys want to keep it kind of
100%. Yeah, 100%. We would love to have guests. This is just starting out, and we don't have a particular time frame, but we definitely want to start grabbing, some guests that can chill with us for a little bit.
Nice.
So,
I like that, man. I see like more and more people in our industry doing some longer content stuff. Mm-hmm. There was the same pattern. Like when we started doing like the shorter content stuff, also see that. Now I feel like everyone's doing that. I'm like, all right, cool. But I'm really excited to see more and more people do the longer format stuff, because I think it only helps our industry, right? Yeah. And I want to do anything that helps the industry.
Yeah.
So I thought it was super badass when JP was describing it to me originally, and like seeing that, and now it seems like it's evolving. So that's fucking awesome, into something else. What are your like motivating factors for it?
Honestly, just to have fun.
Yeah.
Like there's really no other motivating factor except to kind of get our name out there a little bit more and to just have fun.
Yeah.
Like there's really nothing more than that. We like, even if we never, get any like residual income from YouTube or whatever, it's always just like him and I always look at it as just like, oh, I'm just hanging out with my homie. And that's what we just look at it as.
That's sick, man. I think you can't go into it with a better view than the one you have.
Yeah. It's really awesome having somebody that has like the same view.
Yeah.
So we could just bounce ideas off of each other, and then we'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. And I have such a laid back attitude with stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like, remember when I said the military broke me? Right. It still
never got fixed.
It never got fixed. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't, whatever.
Right.
Like our little studio, because we have like a small room or whatever. He'll be like, yeah, can I put like stuff up here, and then can I just get all my tit stickers and just plaster them everywhere? I was like, I don't care. And he's like, cool, I'm going to do that. Cool. And I was like, all right. Yeah. I'm like, I don't care. I just have like a little area for like Captain America, a little area for Kirby.
Right.
And then you could do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's all I need. Captain America, Kirby.
Yeah, those are my two guys.
Who's the bigger nerd?
Okay, so that's a loaded question.
I would, from what I see, I feel like you guys are two different nerds. You look like you have Marvel and Star Wars stuff, and he's this anime guy.
So when it comes to
Rude
certain,
to assume, Cam.
He's got a Star Wars sleeve. Yeah. I can't stop looking at it.
When it comes to certain things, like especially when Pokemon gets brought up, I do way more Pokemon tattoos than he does.
Right.
He is very sour when that gets brought up.
Yeah.
There was actually one day we were still over at Sad Fam, and I was tattooing a Pokemon or whatever, and he was tattooing something that's not Pokemon. Yeah. And he was jokingly calling over to my client, and he was just like, hey man, I do Pokemon too, right? And then my client goes, I know. And I'm like, oh yeah.
You go like this.
I was like,
Damn,
anyway.
I thought he was gonna go over there and like start asking you questions. Yeah, what gen is that? Huh?
No.
What does that involve
God,
to, dude?
nothing better when a client has your back.
Well, I didn't ask him to do all that.
You didn't need
No, that's what makes it even better.
But yeah, and JP has never, like, he always remembers that one time in his life. That's like it's a core memory for him now.
Bro, I'm gonna hit JP up and be like, "Yo, I really wanted to get a Pokemon tattoo," and he'd be like, "Oh, that's sick," and I'll be like, "But
Brian.
I'm too nervous to ask Brian."
Can you tell him for me?
Can you
ask
me?
That would be. He's like, okay, cool, and then he'll just block you.
Oh, damn! I want that made into a short.
It's almost like when your brother buys the same like band CD you got or shirt. Like, that's my band.
Yeah.
My band.
So yeah, when
Creed.
when Pokemon gets brought up, everybody's like, oh, well, Brian does more, but JP, I'll say this right now, JP is clearly more into Pokemon than I am.
Right.
His business card.
First of all, his business card is a Pokemon card.
Right.
And he spends a lot of money on those things. Yeah. He told me how much he spent for like a pack of like 500. And when he told me, I was like, okay, well,
Right, it'd be cheap.
my business card's not going to be a Pokemon card.
I used to have like really intricate business cards. Sounds like the same deal. And like I would have saved so much money if I just took a $1 bill, wrote my Instagram on it, and gave it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I feel like when it starts to get to that point, it's like
I don't even need a business
I don't
card
use those
anymore.
business cards anymore.
I just don't use business cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just
You
be
know what
like-
is cool though? They have those tap cards. Have you seen those?
Yeah, like for iPhones or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can
It's
just
just
be
a
like,
reusable card.
Well, they have like the metal cards. One of our artists just got one.
Bam
And
Bam
it's just
has
like
it
an
on his
NFT card. You just kind of like can carry this one little metal card down and
It's
tap
expensive,
it.
dude.
It is expensive, but it's a one-time use card.
But
You
I'll
should
make
have-
that shit into my wallpaper and just be
Yeah.
like, here, do the
Exactly.
wallpaper.
It's just like a
Yeah.
fancy
He
thing.
told me
it's a
how
flex.
much it was. I'm
It's
like,
a
holy
flex.
shit.
It's like
That's
$30
what it
bucks.
is.
No.
No, it was 100.
The ones we found are $30.
Oh, Bam Bam.
I think it's
Get your
because
shit
Adrian went to like a dude that does. He didn't go to like a company. He went
That's
to,
cool.
like,
I
a
went to
guy.
Alibaba.
His was
Yeah.
200. Bam
Yeah.
paid 200.
Ugh.
That's trash,
crazy.
bro. Because
did-
you can buy those chips on Amazon, $9. You can get fucking
Oh, like the little
20 of
circle
them.
ones.
Once again,
Yeah.
you can make your
And you can put
profile
any
your
information
picture.
on it. Yeah, because like and whatever, everyone can steal my. No, I'm not.
No,
gonna
don't do
do
it. So back to
I was just
Manhunt.
like,
I'll tell you after. I'll tell it on the Patreon. No, you're good. Cam, do you think you would ever start creating your own content?
Yeah, I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I like the vlog style stuff though. If I were to do content,
Like this?
yeah, it'd
It's
be
your boy, Cam.
it'd probably
on
be
the
like
third time.
it'd probably be like really unscripted stuff, and it'd
Yeah.
probably be like film more content and then just pick and choose from it. Because I grew up like in that era of watching YouTube like that and watching Twitch streamers that are doing shit live and then just chopping it up, and that's like always been the content that intrigued me. And I always liked like the vlogs where it was like groups of people, not like solo. Like I grew up a lot on like the David Dobrik vlogs before like a lot of his controversies and stuff, but like just seeing him and like a group of his like best friends just doing dumb shit, like that was always interesting to me.
I
always
think it'd
wanted
be
to.
cool. Like I would, if I walked in the shop one day and I saw you like back there creating content on your own, I'd be like, that's sick.
Yeah.
you'd be like, yeah, it's fucking. But first, here's a sponsor from NordVPN.
Yeah. No, I've always thought about it for sure.
You and Adrian would have a really good podcast.
Me and Adrian talked about doing the vlog things, like me and him just like being the two balancing the camera back and forth between each other and kind of filming the stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be fun because me and him have a pretty good dynamic.
I agree.
He's one of the people I have like a best dynamic with, probably.
Right.
Adrian said that I told the same thing to Adrian. He goes, yeah, bro, but where the fuck am I going to get podcast stuff? Dipshit.
It's all right here.
Yeah. I'll teach you guys how to use it. Shit, I'll film it for you guys.
You know about pee pee poo poo?
I do know briefly about pee pee poo poo.
What do you know about it?
I know
Everybody does it.
everybody does it.
I read that book, dog.
Everybody
and
shits.
Most of y'all can't read his shirt probably, but it says pee pee poo poo.
Yeah, I have merch. This was actually my wife's idea, and she was
Damn, she's the brains behind everything, huh?
100%.
Yeah,
Bro, I can't tell you, like, I would probably walk around with shit in my underwear if it wasn't for her.
She changes you too.
She might as well.
Just putting baby powder with your legs up. Like,
I'm like,
you're a big boy.
that's what inspired the
I'm a
idea.
good boy.
She's like,
You're my-
pee pee poop.
she's like, peep, and as I'm pissing in her face, I'm like, oh, okay.
Babe, I gotta write this down.
No, she, like, I was coming up with just random things, and then I said, like, pee pee poo poo, I want to come up with something on a shirt that represents it or whatever. And she's the one that's like, metal font is huge now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, pee pee poo poo in metal font, and she's like,
Run it.
I mean, I would get that.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, I would get that too. And she's like, so I went to work, and I came up, like, we had a couple of designs, and then, like, I started like telling people that I was going to do this, and everybody started getting, like, super excited. And I was like, oh my God, this is like a thing or whatever. So yeah, it's become like my
Staple.
my unofficial, like, slogan.
Nice.
And even my one of my clients, he made a pee pee poo poo 3D printed keychain
Sheesh.
for me. He's like,
Nice.
since you love pee pee and poo poo, and I was like, don't word it like that. But yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate the sentiment.
How's your wife gonna feel when she's like, I can't believe you said you were gonna pee in my face on a podcast?
Yeah.
Out of everything,
I can't believe you told them how we came up with the idea.
but that's
Yeah,
rad,
she'll
dude.
be fine. I love you.
So is it out yet? Can people get it?
So
If
right
this
now,
podcast comes out in 3 weeks?
if this podcast comes out in 3 weeks, that means the pre-orders will be
It's
closed.
sold out.
So I only do them like a
By the
week.
time you see this, it's sold out.
You're
Sorry.
fucked. So sorry. I have one. I gave it to him. You guys can have one. Fuck off. But there was, like, I will do, like, you know, what are they called?
Drops?
Like, when my brain is not working.
Releases, drops.
Reverse
Drops,
robbery.
thank you.
Drops.
When I do like random drops, I think I might do one like for like the holidays. Well, this one is the holiday one. And then I might do one for like springtime or something like that.
Yeah.
So as long as you follow me, then you'll be able to see when I do those drops, so you can get your hands on some of my piss and shit.
Yeah.
We need a pink
When
one.
I'm dropping poo.
Maybe you too,
dropping
like
the deuce,
pee pee poo poo.
Do you pee and poop? Well, I got the shirt for you.
Do you like metal bands?
God bless Alex. Alex, would you get that on your chest?
Pee pee poo poo.
Pee pee poo poo.
I'd put that on my chest.
Hell yeah, dude. You'd let me shit on your chest?
And pee, dog.
And pee on
All right, man. We're gonna need the vector version of that.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
What else, Cam?
That's cool. You need one in pink. That's all I know.
I already did one in pink.
Yeah,
You fucking fuck.
Yeah, why don't you stream that?
We should make
Yeah.
that into a shirt.
So you should start selling those.
You should do a pre-order at 12 o'clock today.
Cool. No, when I first came out with the design, it was just a black T-shirt with white lettering and then hot pink lettering.
Nice.
And those sold like almost half and half, which is crazy. And now they're selling. What the fuck was that?
Now there's
Whoa.
They're
Next
selling
word.
in
I would have believed that word. I'm like, God damn, SAT word of the day.
Yeah, now you could purchase them. I got a green one and then a red one for the holidays. And I also introduced a hoodie with the white lettering.
Hell yeah.
And I think for Easter, I might do a pink shirt with black lettering. I think that'll look fucking dope.
Fuck yeah.
for Christmas, I want to do a shirt that says Google Santa isn't real.
Can't have kids looking at that shit.
Like a picture of like the Google search bar, and then just type in "is Santa," and then on the
not real, Santa sucks, pagan holiday. Yeah.
So I was at Publix Saturday night.
Go on.
Wearing the tattoos are fucking stupid shirt.
Yeah.
And the cashier lady lost her shit.
How so?
She was just like, "What does your shirt say?"
Right.
And tattoos are fucking stupid. And she goes, she's like, "But you have so many." And I'm just like,
irony, baby.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're a hypocrite."
She's like, "That's the funniest thing
You're
I've
like, "Will
seen."
you bag my shit up, girl?"
I'm like, "Can I go?"
Yeah, just hit her back. How much is it gonna cost?
My store is stupid.
Can't find out she has autism. You're fucking joking.
Bro, the bet is that the shirt. That shirt has the comic on the back.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't.
I wasn't even gonna turn around for her to read that part.
Imagine you leaving. Like,
So
I'm just backing
up all the way to your car.
I hate when people are like, "What's on the back of your shirt?" You know, because
take a picture,
You gotta like turn around and sit there
because
for a minute while they read
bro,
it.
I'll walk through the whole thing because they're like,
Well, it's like a comic, so it's like
Yeah.
shit to read.
dude, this
on
is
it.
what it is. It's a masterpiece. No, it's we needed a comic for a skit, so I drew it in like 10 minutes, quick.
It's shitty.
It's just like panels, and so I'll be like wearing that shirt sometimes, and you know they're like, "What's on the back of your shirt?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just like a comic that I drew or whatever." And they're like, "Oh, let me see."
Oh, I
and
love
like, you know,
Charlie
I'm like, "Okay." So you just stand there like while someone's reading your fucking back. You're like hunched over, trying to like get the crinkles out. Yeah.
It's a comic about killing
and
yourself.
then they never get it, and they're like, "What is it?" And then I explain it to them. I'm like,
there goes the joke.
yeah, I'm like, well, it's not even necessarily it's just weird because I'm like, well, I'm drawing a picture in it, and then someone wants to make changes, and then I'm walking into traffic. That's like what the comic is. And then they're like, oh, okay, bye. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Oh, what's the front side?
you after you're done explaining, you look up, they're gone.
I just walk. I just make the comic come to life, pretty
I would
much.
fucking love to do that. I'd be like, "Hey, can I see what the back of your shirt says?" And then just walk away.
You good?
He's like, "Are you done?" Or?
Take your time. Feast your eyes on this.
Yeah, people looking at it invites other people to come look at it.
Yeah. Let's say, oh, what's this guy looking at? I'm going to look too.
Where you
Like,
fuck up
is
is when
that
you say you made it.
yeah, it's like a crash car on the highway. Oh, let me get a look at this.
My mom got me a T-shirt for my birthday a couple weeks ago, and it was just like, she's like, "You're a tattoo artist." She's from New York.
Yeah. Yes, I am, Mom.
Yeah. And the thing, it just has like a tattoo machine, like a coil, and it just says "just the tip." And I'm like,
Damn.
"Thanks, Mom." Like when she gave it to me, she's like, "It's your size, right?" And I'm like, "It is."
I'll wear it every day.
It'll never leave the house.
You get it because you're a tattoo artist. I'm like, "Uh-huh." She's probably going to watch this too.
Yo, where'd you get it? The beach?
CVS.
Oh, man. We're always like battling because John White and I do the Model Citizen merch. And we're very much going for like a real, I don't know, like a certain look, right? We used to do the shop shirts, which are kind of similar to like beach shirts or like whatever, like quick, you know, lick and stick fucking shirts, like wear it, have a laugh. And we're kind of going for like a different approach on the Model Citizen. But it's tough because I love the like beach style shirts, like the one-liners, that's like really,
Find that Ron
that's where
John.
I shine, bro. You know, and like I'm always trying to like slide in these like little. it's really just like depression stuff, you know? And like, I'm like, oh, what if we just like wrote a bunch of like schizophrenic stuff and just wrote like, just give up on the shirt or like something like that, you know? Like
True positivity.
Yeah, I want it like so bad.
No
or, like,
hope.
Yeah. Like there's no hope, no light, whatever. And he's always just like, yeah, no, we're not fucking doing that. But every time I'm on the beach and they have like the shirts everywhere, bro, some of those shirts are fire, bro.
Yeah.
Some of them are like you wear them ironically.
Right, exactly.
There, and some of them are just like that. Like it's so stupid. They're all stupid. But there's a couple that I'm just like, I'd wear that. There was a T-shirt that I got at Hot Topic of all places, and it was like Ecuador, home of the bananas. And it had a
I mean, that's facts, dog.
and it had a painting of like bananas. Like it was just like watercolor type of stuff. And I was just like, I mean, my hands are tied. I have to get that shirt now.
I saw it. I had to
saw
buy
it, and I was like, I gotta get it.
Yeah.
There are these shirts online. I think they're called like shirts that go hard.
Okay.
And they're the stupidest fucking shirts. It'll be like a picture of like a teddy bear, and then the caption will be like, "Don't tickle me, I'll come."
I like those
something
shirts.
real, like it has nothing to do with anything, and I'm like, what? And they're all hilarious.
I like when they do like band shirts with like random objects.
Dude,
you
I
know?
was just gonna say that because my girl was showing me like the TikTok shirts where you send in like a picture of your friend or your dog and they make it into like a vintage shirt.
Yeah, and they put like the cool lettering and the lightning strikes.
Bro, and she was like,
Youth fair shirts.
bro, she's like, I want to get you one of these, and I was like, yo, I actually want one. And she's like, who should I put on there? I'm like, dude, put Epstein on there. Right? And then I was like, yo, I could make all these shirts about these hated people, bro. Like, I couldn't, you know,
Just
because
hang
it'd
on.
be bad. But yo,
No, but you could. No,
yeah, like people would buy that,
technically
bro.
can.
Yeah, just like terrible
They're
people
like,
of the world.
terrible mini collages of shit.
Bro,
Little airplane here and
who would
island
you
down
get?
there.
Who would you get on there?
Jared from Subway.
Bush?
Yeah,
Okay.
a couple like buildings in the background.
Yeah, 9/11.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Just a couple. Just a couple. Not a few.
Number one.
Yeah, that or like
He's making
the
this
Epstein.
like with
Epstein
his
one's
hand.
good.
Yeah, that's good.
The Epstein one's good for sure. Maybe like Sleepy Joe.
I actually like him.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hey, he's a nice
Yeah.
guy.
He's
I'd do
really
like
smart.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
Yeah,
I feel like he's played out at this point, bro.
Get
He's
Jared
current.
from Subway.
That's good.
or Jake from State Farm one. Yeah.
Well, he didn't do anything controversial.
I know, but he's just drippy, you know. Just like put him on a shirt.
A red polo.
Like,
and
where's the khakis, dog?
Who do you get, Alex?
Drippy, dog.
Are you tired of using ink bottles that are spelled correctly? Do you find yourself texting during ad reads for companies? Well, I do, and that's why I use Allegory Black. Are you tired of your black arms looking blue? Do you suck at tattooing and you want to get better? Use Allegory Black. Allegory has normal black and ultra black. Just when you thought it couldn't get any darker, they put out ultra black. Use Allegory ink. It's the best ink on the planet. Go to allegoryink.com and use discount code Unemployable for 20% off. I know, it's crazy. It's so much money. You really should pay full price, but we have a discount code. Right, Alex?
That's right.
Have you had any bad clients?
Nah.
They're all perfect. There was one client that I had. I want to say about like 7 or 8 months ago. She came in with her boyfriend or her best friend, or who was like a guy that was like 3 times her size, and I was supposed to tattoo right on her forearm. And the forearm is not really that bad, like only up towards the elbow or whatever, where it kind of gets a little spicy. She had, I started doing the line work, and she started doing one of these like,
Oh, the torque.
Oh, running away?
yeah, she
torque.
started, yeah. And I was like, you okay? And she was just like, no, it's a lot. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep going.
I'm gonna ignore
So,
you.
yeah.
It's
So
my job.
we get through with the line work and we start the shading, and she would literally, like, I start shading like the hair, and she was like, oh, And then she'd be like, stop. And I'll be like, what? And she's like, that's all you did? And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because you stopped me.
Right.
And she's like, okay. And I'd go. And she's like, oh, okay, stop. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
It sounds terrible.
So I tried to keep going as long as I could. It got to a point, her boyfriend or friend or whoever, we had to put the legs up on the tattoo chair, and he was holding down her legs.
That's old school, boy.
Because she was like kicking.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm upstairs, and there was, when we were at SatFam, and there's a hole downstairs, and other people are tattooing. Thankfully, I was the only one upstairs, because I had tattoo artists on either side of me.
Yeah.
That would have gotten insane.
Like upset about it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Bro,
Shut the fuck up.
she was screaming.
Damn. Yeah.
And she was like, fuck, what are you doing? Why is that her? And I was like,
Is it bleeding?
It's a tattoo.
I don't know what to tell you. And then it got to a point where her friend was literally on her legs, and he was like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, man.
And I was just like,
Is everyone like this?
That's definitely her best friend.
Yeah. She was like, I'm not your worst client. And I'm like, no.
Getting there.
Yeah.
And we ended up not finishing the tattoo because
What a surprise.
we couldn't finish it. Apparently I think she might have been taking something that could have been trying to alleviate the pain, but it was doing the opposite effect. But I told her, I was like, all right, we're done for the day.
Yeah.
And she was just like, no, I could keep going. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
And she's like, really? I was like, if we keep going at the rate we're going, we won't be done until like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
on a forearm piece. And it got to a point where she was like fumbling around with her purse or whatever. And she was like, so how much do I, like, she looked high almost.
Gotcha.
And she was like, so how much? I was like, just, you paid the deposit, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, just get out.
There's
You're
6
better man
strands
than
of
me.
hair on my arm.
Yeah, I was like, just go. And she walked out with a half-done tattoo. Granted, when she came back to finish the piece, she sat like a rock. So I knew something was up the first time.
Okay.
And the second time I was going, and she was like, this kind of sucks. And I was like, okay, well, this is not the same woman that I
Right.
tattooed last time.
Right. How was rehab?
And yeah, so she probably just had something,
Yeah.
or took too much of something or too little of something. I don't know, but that was probably the worst experience because, like, our friend Kelsey, who was the shop manager, she would come up and she was like asking people about like, you know, what to eat, because she would come up and be like, oh, what do you want to eat? And she would have it Uber Eats or whatever.
She's like, Oxycontin.
Well,
Anything to make it stop.
well, no, the girl started screaming in her face
Oh,
while I was
man,
tattooing. And she's like,
bro.
ah! And Kelsey's like,
I'll try you later.
she's like,
Your breath, dog.
yeah. So that was probably the worst experience. Not the worst client, because I'm
Yeah.
assuming stuff happened.
Bro, that's the worst, bro. Because, like, you feel bad. It's weird. It's like a fire alarm going off while you're trying to tattoo. It's just, you're like, all this is wrong. Like, can you just pretend like you're not in pain?
Yeah.
You know, and sit there quiet? Maybe we can laugh and order Uber Eats. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're just going to fucking yell at me the whole time and criticize how much I got done. Thanks.
And then as soon as she walked out, I like turned and everybody was looking at me.
Yeah.
Like they were like, is she okay? I was
Right.
like, I don't know.
Did
I
you
also don't
hit
care.
her? Yeah.
And I was loathing the entire time because we rescheduled for
Yeah.
like a month and a half
Right.
later. And I was counting down the days. And then when she got and she sat still, I was like, what the fuck? What? What?
Bro, when I have that and I reschedule them, let's say it's, 3-6 months down the road, that whole time until they come
Dread.
is less of life for me. I'm like, because
The
you
shock,
don't
bro.
remember it all the time, but maybe right before bed, you wake up, you're like, oh yeah, that fucking client coming,
You have any bad experiences recently?
Yeah, recently, I don't think so, actually. Let me think.
Just the last guy we talked about.
What? Yeah.
I feel like
I
that
usually don't
one
get
dude
'em.
has been
Yeah, that was
the
bad.
bane of your year.
I already said. his shit all over the internet.
Yeah.
He'll never come back because he definitely watches the podcast.
Probably shouldn't used his name.
First and last.
Yeah, I'll just say it, bro, because it's like, whatever. You were terrible. But I usually let them know that they're terrible, like, while they're doing it, like, during the appointment.
Wow. Really?
I'm like, yeah, because they know, bro. I, like, can't really hide stuff on my face, like, when it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if they're being a terrible client and they're going, like, sorry, it's because they know. They can already see it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're like, well, do you like it, the design? I'm like, no, I don't. But I'll do it if you want it. It's like when I come in with a design that I spent all morning on, and they're like, well, do you like it? And it's like, no, I just spent 5 hours on this because I fucking, yeah, of course I fucking like it, bro. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like honest. I'm not like, I try not to be a dick about it because I don't think that's necessary. But if they're like, sorry, am I being annoying? I'll be like, yeah, this is difficult. Like, I'll say that. This is difficult because I want to give you something you like, but for whatever reason, like, we're just not connecting. So what it does is it makes me think I'm doing something wrong. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's like what I'll say to them. And then they're like, well, I'm sorry. And it's like, well, that doesn't fix your dumb idea. Yeah.
Adrian's approach is a little different.
What does he say?
He'll be like, so how's your day going? Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
He puts on headphones with no music. That's
Yeah. Well, and I've said that to people, and they're like, you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, what? Should I just be like you and lie to them? You fucking dishonest
I just be like,
piece of shit.
what?
They know, bro. They know they're fucking annoying when they're being annoying. I know when I'm being annoying. Like, if I'm, like, changing shit at, like, a store or whatever, like, I'm like, I know I'm a douchebag. I'm sorry. You know? Whatever.
I feel bad anytime I go into, like, a clothing store and I pick out, like, an extra large shirt and I go into the dressing room and then somebody's like, they knock and they're like, do you need, like, another size? And I was like, yeah, I need a 2XL. I am so sorry. And they're like, I can just get it. I was like, I could come out half naked. I'll get it.
I'm gonna fold this for you.
Because I used to be in retail and I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I used to work at Express.
Ooh. That? No good, huh?
No good. There was one because I used to work at the Florida Mall. I used to work at Express and Aeropostale at the same time. Damn. There was one day where the district officer manager dude, one of the big top dogs of Express was coming in, and we were having a sale the next day. So we had to literally rearrange the entire store. Why? I was there because fucking jeans. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. So we had to rearrange everything. I was there from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Damn.
I was also part of the inventory crew at Aeropostale. From 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. at Express. Then I had an hour to go back to my car, come out in Aeropostale gear, and then go to work from Aeropostale at 5 a.m. to 12. And then at 12, I would have another hour before I go back and do my day shift at Express.
Damn, bro. How do you do it?
With lots of fucking
Got my
nos.
shovel. I crawled across.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this pre or post army?
This is post.
Post?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah, I worked at Polo, which is probably the worst place.
Really?
Only because they don't call them fucking normal shit. It's on a T-shirt. Oh, I need a 724 category. I'm like, what the? You a sweater? You're looking for a sweater?
They do that at Express.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
No?
they like what one of the shirts, like the button ups, it was like a 1MX.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, can I get 2 1MX, please?
Hey, what is that, drugs?
And I'm
Is
like,
that your
what?
social?
Yeah. What research chemical say?
Are you looking at the periodic table right now? But yeah.
I think we should do a social experiment with the policies. I'm going to start sending people the Apple's term and agreements and see if they sign it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You could hide stuff in there.
Yeah.
You make it long, they won't read. Just give them a button that brings
No
it to
one
the
Says I agree.
Scroll to the bottom, baby.
bottom. Right. Oh, As stated in the policies, I'm allowed to make a vintage shirt of your face.
Oh, you didn't read paragraph 37?
Dude, one
idiot. With my luck, the first person that I tattoo with that new agreement would be like a fucking lawyer, and they read through
every piece of it.
I don't see anything about tattoos in this.
They're like, I'm not signing this.
It says Apple Inc. up at the top. Like, what did you?
Yeah, I let them know. They expect a cease and desist.
So this tattoo comes with Apple Care, dog. That's sick.
Like a 2-year Apple Care? Like, fuck yeah.
What were you saying about Luke's client?
Oh, how would you handle it? Did you hear the back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adrian ran to the front. And they're like, "There's a fight."
I've heard a lot of Luke's back and forth with clients.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I work at the station across from him.
All right, so Brian, let me paint the picture. So the day before this tattoo was going to be set, the guy came in to talk to somebody about a cover-up, a really, really terrible cover-up. So Luke was right here. Actually, it's funny enough, Luke got upset because Scott was the first one here, and the first client that came in left. So in my opinion, normally who gets here first, like they get the first pick.
Yeah, the walk-in.
Yeah, as a walk-in. So Scott didn't get that customer, so in my brain, he's still up. He was here half an hour before you
Rotation, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's about, money, not talking necessarily. I want to make sure he's good. He's sitting right there, and I go, "Yo, Scott." And Luke was like, "Yo, Danny, I'm right here." And came up. So he was already a little aggressive. And then I'm like, I don't have time to explain, like, my train of thought with everything. I'm like, "Yeah, Luke, go ahead and talk to him." Yeah. So they talked about it. I overheard some of the concepts. And the guy did mention that he was cool with the skull. And I heard that myself. So,
like you said, I want a tattoo. It's fine if there's a skull in it.
Luke gave him a couple options what will and won't work, and a skull was one of the options.
All right, like we could do a skull, and the guy's like, "Yeah, skulls are cool."
Yeah, the guy's like, "I want like a medieval kind of helmet on him," and the guy was pretty receptive to like the ideas. So the following day he came, and he's with Luke. I was pretty impressed. Luke was here almost an hour before and had not one but 2 designs ready. And yeah, so when he went back there, they went back there together. I don't know how it first started, but Adrian runs out. He's like, "Danny, you better go back there. Something's happening."
Fight.
So I go. No, the guy comes out here pretty hot first.
I know, he came to me.
Yeah. And then he was like, "You remember, I was here yesterday." I'm like, "No, that was me."
Yeah.
he was
like,
certain.
"I spoke to you. You're McMuffin."
I'm like,
I'm like, no one talks to me. Bro, and like, so my version, I had none of that. I was tattooing my client.
yeah.
And we were just talking about running businesses. He runs a business, I run a business. And having to be professional and all this stuff. Right? Dude, literally just having this talk about like, when you own a shop, like you have to let certain things go. You can't be like a douche to everyone anymore. You have to set the literally just having this conversation. This guy comes up to me and goes, "I was speaking with you first, right?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "When I came in, I was like, I don't talk to anyone when they come in." And he's like, "Yeah, because I'm not talking to that fucking douchebag Luke anymore." And I look at my client and he's like, bro, and I just am silent. I'm like,
Remember what you said?
Thank God Danny comes over and he's like, "Oh, no, you talk to me, whatever." Save the day.
Oh my God.
Bro, the things I said to him in my head. And then I look at my client and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty mature now."
You saw how I handled that?
Bro.
He came in.
But he was screaming.
Screaming,
He's
bro.
like, "This motherfucker."
Holy shit.
He's like, "You know what he drew? Skulls." I told him I didn't want any fucking skulls.
The dark energies that come with skulls.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like,
"Yeah, skulls are cool." "I can't believe you drew a fucking skull."
so then I'm like, yo, he goes, "I'll go talk to." I'm not getting. What are you gonna talk to him for? I ain't gonna get tattooed by him.
Get tattooed by someone else. He starts walking
Yeah.
up to random people. Yeah,
I'm like,
you.
no. come here. So I'm like, you know what? Let me take this. So I took him to our sister shop, which is because Nate was there, who's like the ultimate cover up guy. He can make anything disappear. So I'm like, yo,
Even this guy.
I'll drive you there, which was awkward.
Yeah, yo, tell me about the drive,
Bro, no. What's
Bro,
worse?
this guy looks
So the
like,
shop's like 2 blocks.
bro, he looked
Yeah.
I
like
don't
what?
care. You can get an Uber.
What's the Dragon Ball Z guy, Master Roshi?
Yeah, bro.
That's what he
just
looks like.
him. Came
That's
in on a
awesome.
cloud
Yeah.
and everything.
Right.
And the red glasses.
They're like, why is he so pissed? I'm like, he's been looking for those Dragon Balls. But I don't even know if that makes. I don't really know Dragon Ball, but that's what he looked like. You know.
No, you got it right, man.
All right, cool. Hell yeah. It was a guess. Yeah.
Well, he kept asking me like questions that I don't.
We know what he would wish for. No fucking skulls.
He sits in the car. Can you fucking believe that guy? I'm like, yeah, I
could.
He's the fucking worst, bro.
I fucking hate that guy.
He doesn't even work there.
I'm firing him as soon as I get back.
Yeah, he's like, as soon as I came up to him, it was just fucking ping, pow, boom. And I couldn't be around that. And then the worst
Bang,
part.
zoom, straight to the moon.
And the high-waisted pants. You see? So then I'm driving, and the worst thing happened. I see the fucking train things.
No.
I'm like, no! And then I can make it.
I'm going for it.
Just when I thought it couldn't get worse, it was a fucking storage train.
Oh, it was a freight train. It wasn't even the bright line.
Yeah, no, the bright line's quick as fuck. So then he starts bitching about the fucking train. Can you fucking believe this train, man? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm about to drive into it, bro. and so I walk him in. So 17 minutes later, the fucking things came up. There were so many awkward silences. I'm like, do you want to listen to music or something?
So you like skulls?
You seem like a black metal kind of guy.
That's
shit was
incredible.
terrible, man.
I would never put a client I've never met in my car. Kudos to you.
Thanks, man. As a manager, I felt obligated. Will I ever do it again? Nah.
Absolutely not.
Dude,
He didn't even tip me, bro.
I do that shit.
What are you, Uber driver? Oh, God.
No stars,
Fucking
dog.
4 stars.
Dude, I do that all the time. Like, I'm surprised I haven't got kidnapped yet. Like,
You drive clients to the other shop?
dude, I'm reckless, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Well, no, like, they're my clients. I don't know if that's, like, different.
No,
I've
yeah,
never,
that-
like, met them, no. And I'm like, I'll pick you up. I'm like, I'll drive you back to your hotel. And, like, the one I was, and some of, like, my best experiences have been through that. So it keeps teaching me to keep doing it. You know? They're like, yeah, like,
I'll
he's
be
like,
at the Motel 6.
he's like, is there a gas station around? I'm like, I'll fucking drive you. We're like going, we're just having a good time. We're in 7-Eleven. I love that candy. Oh, whatever. Like, I like chill with them.
we're
Bro, if
homies
I'm
now.
like traveling like in another country and like I'm tattooing someone, they're like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, let's chill. You know?
For some reason, if I'm in a place that I've never been in, I feel more inclined to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we're both lost.
Yeah.
You can't kidnap me because you don't know where you're going.
He starts choking you out. He's like, oh, never mind.
Use SANIDERM to heal it. Where's my banner, bro? SANIDERM. What's up, dude? Sorry for... SANIDERM, the best aftercare in the world. And take it from me, I'm a pro team member. Use code Unemployable to get 20% off your SANIDERM. I only use SANIDERM. It's the best product out there. There's all these other products that just copied SANIDERM. Get the real stuff. Tell him, Alex.
Use SANIDERM.
I've never had a client like that. That's insane.
Yeah, it was
The weirdest, well, I wouldn't say weird, but it was a very hilarious instance. I was actually still an apprentice at my first shop, and I had my own little room, and she was getting a rib piece, and it was like high up right here. And I was just like, all right, because of the area, you're going to have to like deblouse and stuff like that.
The blouse.
Like,
Damn,
you
I
know.
like that.
Yeah, so she didn't have any pasties or anything, but I came up with the brilliant idea. I was just like, oh, I have like these derpy little Pokemon stickers that I made.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and they were like this big. And I was like, bro, I'll just give you 2 Pokemon stickers. You get 1 Bulbasaur and 1 Squirtle.
Right.
And you can just pop them on and you'll be fine.
Here's a weeping bell.
Yeah, so I was just like, here are the stickers. You can use those as pasties. And she's like, oh, cool, sweet. So she's doing her thing. I turn around to like, do like set up my mayo tray and everything. And I'm pouring the colors and I'm like, all right, we're all set up. And I turn back around and she's topless without the pasties, and she's putting the stickers on her water bottle.
I was gonna make a joke about that, bro.
I was like, she had them on her forehead or some shit. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I just scored 2 free stickers. And I was like, you hustler.
Yeah.
She's like, can I borrow your beanie?
So yeah, she
Just holds a water bottle.
So I was like, oh, okay. Well, all right. I guess lay down now. Because she was totally chill. And I was like,
What if you looked across the room and there's like a kid sitting there like, don't ruin this.
get them Pokemon out of there.
How much for the cards?
He's like, I gotta catch them all.
There is something like magical about a tattoo shop where, like, because I just had a client like that, and we were actually talking about this scenario where you will deblouse, and then like after an hour, it just like goes away. And most of the time, all my experience with clients and myself, you're just like, cool, I'm just like naked today. And like no one cares, and like everyone's fucking adults, you know, or at least hides it well. And it's just what it is. Because I was getting tattooed, you know, this year on my upper thigh, like in my boxers, and like I'm sitting in a shop with artists I respect, and I'm naked, bro. Like
Try not to pop a boner.
yeah, and you know, I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm in boxers," and then dude's tying them all up. I look like a fucking sumo wrestler, and I'm just like, "Whatever." But after an hour, like, I'm walking around the shop like that, going to the bathroom.
With your ass cheeks hanging out.
Yeah, bro.
You're like standing over other artists' stations.
Exactly. I'm like, "What you working on?" You know?
You're just
Yeah,
You kind of just forget though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because same thing with Nate recently. Like I just got my hip tattooed. I was like underwear bunched up to like a pantyhose.
As soon as that needle hits the skin, you're like, "I got bigger things." to
Yeah,
worry
that
about."
this hurts. Like
Yeah.
fuck my yeah.
Right.
Adrian's like, be responsible. Watch him from the CCTV. like a
Adrian's
true
creeping
adult.
Adrian's creeping in the supply room. Like,
Yo, where the lights off in here?
Don't worry about it. Keep them off.
How do you zoom in this thing? He must work out. Oh, Brian, this is Adrian. He came to meet you.
Hi, man.
Yeah, just like he did for JP.
What's up,
Because
dude?
I love those guys.
This is my son. He's too nervous to say hi.
Shake his hand, honey.
Standing in the corner like,
Adrian likes anime.
hell yeah,
You can only see half his phrase from behind Danny's butt.
Like the neighbor in fucking Home Improvement.
Hey, how's it going, neighbor? He has like a picket fence over there for some reason.
With a glory hole. Next move is yours.
It's like, you like what you see? No.
Speaking of
You gotta sing
magic,
to it. So you like Pokemon?
What is he, Pennywise?
He does like that too. Adrian has a lot of Pennywise shit.
Yeah, when he goes missing, I check him for sewers. Like the drain's there. Adrian! Georgie? Yes, they float. I'm like, come on, dude, we have walk-ins.
You smell like shit.
5 more minutes, man. Stop. He loves hurricane season, dog. It's just out there scaring people.
This is good content. Talking with somebody who's off camera, I'm like,
so dumb.
Oh, our audience knows
if
who
only you
Adrian
can see
is.
what we're seeing.
Dude, put your pants back on.
That clown from TikTok.
Danny just tried to introduce you to Brian.
And
That's
somehow
it.
you ended up in a sewer. Trying to fucking lure kids.
Bro, the best, and
been roasting.
I'll never let you live this down until I get dementia and completely forget about this memory. We actually
I already
did.
brought that up.
Yeah. So
This is the 50% guy.
Got ya.
It's probably the funniest thing to ever happen in this
Dude.
shop, Adrian. Yeah, it is.
That's going to be
No,
the best short.
the funniest was when that girl came back to the shop and looked like she was having a bad day. And this is the time Adrian made a short where he's wants to get like his girl's name on his face, and as he's explaining it to me, he starts turning into a clown. and became known as like the clown of TikTok, right? So this girl comes in. What?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Turning into a clown?
I'm sorry. I went a little fast on that.
I can show it to
So
you.
there's like some
he's
back.
getting it, he's just putting on the.
Well, pretty much he's like, I want to get a tattoo. And then you don't see him and it's me. I'm
Okay.
like, cool, what do you want? And he's like, I want to get my girlfriend's name tattooed. And then I'm like,
I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen this.
And it's
yes.
more and more like a
Yes,
clown,
yes,
right?
yes. I thought this was an actual experience. Oh, no. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Okay. Yes,
So
yes.
everyone was like, knew him from that. So this girl comes in, she looks like she's upset or whatever. She's kind of like, a shop homie. And I was like, how was your night? And she said, bad. And I was like, what happened? And she's like, I got fucking fingered from the clown on TikTok.
On a curb.
Yeah, on a curb outside of a bar.
Nothing's more romantic than Flanagan's. Like, hey, girl.
That's incredible.
Oh, bro, I was fucking dying, bro. I was dying.
He went to Outback.
It was out front.
I love you, dog.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
One thing I have been seeing, even this morning, I was on Instagram. I feel like for a while, artists were trying to come off as though they were more booked than they actually are, if that makes sense. Like I would always like go online and like all this stuff, and everyone started doing the now booking for these months, or books are closed, or I'm booking a month ahead even though I have openings tomorrow. Maybe like 3-4 years ago, this was just the trend, seeing it all the time. Recently, I've been seeing artists be a little bit more transparent, I think, and like letting people know, like huge artists being like, hey guys, I still have openings this month, and like, I'm taking on this. And the economy of like tattoo everywhere, but especially, with tattooing being relevant, has been poor,
Yeah. I think we all feel it too.
Right.
I would say that it took a lot longer for my books to be filled this time around than it has been in like the past year or so.
Yeah.
And I noticed it really. And every now and again, I'm sorry, like there's like a burp like right here.
Let it out, dog.
I can't because I might just vomit.
Listen, bro, we look for shorts all the time. That'd be rad.
All right.
This is content.
You casually go.
Exorcist.
And
John's like, artist being transparent.
But what the fuck was I saying?
People not being booked. Economies
It was
taking
slower to
longer.
fill up your books this
Yeah,
time.
it was slower to fill up my books, and I felt it. And even every now and again, I'll just realize that I have like 1 or 2 days open, and that's when I'm like, hey, I won't give specific dates because I want more people to
Gravitate.
That's a trick that I normally do that a couple of people have told me. They're like, don't give them specific dates that are open. Just give them a general sense.
Yeah.
So that more people will inquire. And then if more people inquire and somebody can't do that date, you can kind of set them up for another date.
Yeah.
Just get them to engage with you. Kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So what I would just say, hey, I have a couple of days open this month. First come, first serve, please inquire if you're looking to get something done. So I've had to do that more. I've also had to do like, I do mostly color. Like not mostly. I only
do color.
I do color.
Yeah.
mostly Pokemon.
Mostly Pokemon. But I had to start telling myself, I was like, well, my bookings are getting slower, so I'm going to have to start doing black and gray pieces, which is fine. I know how to do black and gray. And I've also been doing large pieces, and because of the economy and how everybody is feeling it, I'm starting to do small, like half days, and then even smaller pieces now to just fill up these certain spots. So I feel like I'm not saying that it's more, well, I can't speak for everyone. It is a little bit, I have to kind of weigh my options a lot more now than I used to. Before I was just like, I would just open my books and then they would get filled and I'm like, all right, cool, bye.
Right.
You know, but now I'm just like, I have to like expand a little bit more to get people to cling on to things. And it sucks even with, you know, artists that are just starting out, or they you know, I am very privileged, you know, and I can recognize that. I see that there are a lot of people that aren't as privileged as I am, and it's ridiculously hard for them to fill out their next week or just a month, you know, and I could see that a lot more now than it was just like 6 months ago. And it's starting to catch up with everybody. And it's, you know, a lot of people are panicking, but I don't know if it's time to panic yet. So
I see that too. I see the panic around here. And I've always been someone to be like, don't change anything.
mm-hmm.
Just keep going strong, you know? Because like decisions made in panic are typically bad, right?
Decisions, yeah.
We see some shops closing.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of things changing. We see the shops and the artists getting desperate, which is sad. You know, whether the artists are like just asking for so much from a shop that no one will hire them,
Mm-hmm.
or the shops are just giving away so much that they end up closing down. And it's been a weird time. And, you know, like as a shop owner, as, you know, anyone that feels some responsibility, you know, to their business or their workplace or whatever, like you ask around. And, you know, I've gotten a bunch of feedback. I've gotten feedback from people that are like, yeah, you know, we need to lower rates. We should do deals. We need to create an incentive and do these things. And then I've had the opposite too. Like, no, like you provide luxury items, stay luxury, stay strong where you're at, don't change. What's your opinion on it?
It is a luxury.
Surprise,
Start getting
motherfucker.
really close, and I'm like,
Back the fuck up, dog.
It is definitely looked at as a luxury, and
Yeah.
that's what it should remain as. Because it's the same thing with, you know, like fucking Chanel or Dolce & Gabbana or whatever the fuck other, I can't really think
Gucci.
of.
Yeah.
Gucci, yeah.
Shit
Or
like that, yeah.
what's the
Cam's like Gucci,
yeah.
Louis Vuitton,
fucking
whatever. Yeah.
Gucci, bro.
Aeropostale.
Express, yeah.
Aeropostale,
Right. Polo.
Great Value. They don't change their prices either.
Right.
So even in like times of like hardship, you don't see fucking Lamborghini or Ferrari being like, 20% off.
Summer sale.
Yeah, they don't do that. And I'm not saying that my tattoos
Are worth a Lamborghini?
are a Lamborghini. I will say that they fucking last longer though. But it's just one of those things where like you said, you have to, you know, stay true and you know your worth. But at the same time, we are also in a position where we can, you know, like work with your client, because we aren't fucking Lamborghini. We're not Gucci or Polo, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're not a company. We're a person and we have hearts. So you can stay true and that's totally fine, you know? However, if it continues to go on this like downfall or whatever, not a downfall, that sounds very like ominous.
The Great Tattoo Depression.
Yeah. But if it does stay on this trend, you know, we have to be open to change with the times.
Yeah.
So
What do you think, Cam?
I've noticed it slow down since I've gotten into the
Really?
industry. Yeah, just even like walk-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm fucking with you.
Cam, did you hear that call I had? Somebody asked on the phone if we finance tattoos.
what?
I would.
Well,
I would.
There's
Let me just say that.
I was going to say, I wanted to get all three of your
there
opinions.
is shops that do offer it in the area that I have seen that do it.
I've never
And,
heard of that idea ever. That's awesome.
I've heard of it in a more like like payment plan way. I've heard of it more like artists are like, okay, like if this is like really expensive for you, you know, we can set up like you could just pay me whenever you get it. Like I've never heard of like
That's too much
some
trust
shops
in
are
the
doing
world.
like official payment plans
Yeah.
through like payment
That's
companies.
the only way it could work.
But I know,
bros.
but there's like old school guys that are like, or even like I have buddies that are like, yo, can I just give you $100 every paycheck? My appointment's not for like 2 months, and then hopefully by the time my appointment rolls around, I only owe you a couple hundred. You know, like if it's somebody like for like a friend, I might do it. You know, for the average client, it's like. No, you know, maybe you just save up the money, pretend you're giving it to me, and then like pay for your tattoo, you know. But
brings out a piggy bank like.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, especially with the super high
I
rates.
think Danny maybe means like after the fact.
Yeah, after the fact.
Yeah.
I will say that I don't know. I don't because I've never heard of that idea before, but I've had clients come up to me and they're like, "Yeah, if I come to you like if I book with you like for my appointment in like 2 months, I can get away with not paying my light bill for like 2 weeks before they shut anything off or like."
And you're like, yeah, run it.
I'm like,
Makes sense.
You
to
don't
me.
need light.
I was like, "Fucking fire, bro!
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, because I need to pay my light.
But I've had that happen, and I was just like, I think you should hold off.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you have a need to finance a tattoo, you might need to get your financial priorities in order before you
Right.
make that decision in the first place.
I think with like money lending, it's really like a quantity approach.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to have a lot of you want to have a lot of debt, and because you have to count on people not paying, right? Like that's how that business model. I did money lending for a little bit. Okay. Yeah. No, I would do this for tattooing.
You want to fuck people over.
No, I mean like that's like what the business is, and anyone tells you otherwise is being dishonest, and they're a bad person. And since I'm being honest, I'm a good person.
Oh, okay.
But
Gotcha.
right, yeah. No, but like it doesn't make sense because like what this let me just break this down simple, and I'm not like a
Backtrack.
financial person, but like if you did that, they'd have to sign some paperwork,
Yeah,
and,
of course.
and there would be like a backup plan, right? Like if you don't pay, like I'm coming after
die.
your house, you know, like whatever.
Here's my
And
kid.
then like you have to be okay with following through on that.
Yeah, I don't have the heart for that.
I don't either, and that's why I got out of it. But
I need collateral.
right, and like most of the time, like people, I don't know if they like realize, just like when Danny first saw that video and like people really die, like people really come after your shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Loan sharks. Dog.
Right. And I agree with you in the sense that like, yo, if you're trying to take out a loan, maybe
tattoo.
it's not the time.
Especially
But
with-
I do like what you've said, and we do that too. Like, okay, if I have my appointment in 6 months, once a month I'll pay you this month. Yeah, that
Yeah.
works for everyone, bro.
Yeah.
I
long
mean,
as
put your
it's paid-
deposit down first.
Yeah.
you know?
But as long as it's paid for before the appointment.
Yeah.
you know?
Or
Yeah.
like book it a year from now, and then you have a year to come up with the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it can work.
Yeah, it's
It'd have to be done pre to receive.
But also,
product,
the reason it kind of sucks is like with lending money, there's interest. So it ends up being more anyway.
correct.
You know? So it's like, okay, you don't have money to begin with. Usually
So-
you only do that with items you need.
Like a house or a car or
Right,
something like
right.
that. Or medical bills.
Yeah,
So, like when I'm
college.
trying to tattoo a fucking Kirby, pretty sure you don't need that Kirby tattoo right now.
That's your opinion. All right. Model Citizen used to be cool before Alex started wearing it. Are you tired of being unattractive to everyone around you? Well, not anymore. With the Model Citizen apparel, you'll be beating them off with a stick. Finally, tattoo clothing that is actual quality, that I can wear around and feel good. For real though, the quality of these clothes is top notch. This is like nothing you've ever seen before with a tattoo company. This isn't some Gildan bullshit. These are quality, hand-picked clothing. They have everything from vintage styles, oversized clothes, modern tees. Go to themodelcitizen.com. Get them before Alex does.
My camera not even on.
Alex, you have one
wasn't
fucking
on.
job, man.
Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of Unemployable. Thank you again for joining us, man.
Absolutely.
We'll catch you guys
On the Patreon.
on the Patreon.
Thanks for cutting Ryan off.
Yeah, sorry.
Fuck you, man.
I gotta pee so bad.